Right. So if we go from the premise or the idea that when quote unquote, and this depends on your choice of thought, the Wachowskis wrote The
He
Matrix,
finished. Can I
that
rebuttal him?
that they wrote into the concept of red pill versus blue pill. They wrote white supremacy into that, or they had white supremacy in mind when they wrote that into. Then I guess you're not wrong. But then there's the second school of thought in that some people believe, I'm one of those believer, that the whole concept of the Matrix and the Terminator was written about by a woman named Sophia Stewart, black woman, who
Yes.
predates the Wachowskis. So if she wrote that, if this is the premise for her body of work, then we can bypass the racial aspect of it. Now, what white men tend to do, like when they made Call of Duty, when Treyarch and not in whoever and Sony made Call of Duty, they didn't expect for the Call of Duty chat rooms to turn into just racial slurs, just vomit racial slurs into the microphone. That's what people do. That's again same thing with Christianity. I don't think Christianity was made to be this thing that the Crusaders turned it into, or what Pete Hegseth is trying to turn it into, or what Christo white nationalists are trying to turn it into. I don't think that's what it was meant for. But I'm handling the ability for people to separate what makes sense from what doesn't make sense. And what
All right.
doesn't
Can
make
I
sense
cook
is
him now?
Hold on.
please,
Now,
if you don't mind.
hold on, Lilith. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna just say this to you, Amar. I understand what you're saying, but again, I'm gonna go back to it. Manosphere was created and specifically curated for white men
That's
to teach
manosphere
them to
though.
be. Yeah, but the red pill is the result. It's the love child of the manosphere. Red pill is not black men shit. It's not. Red pill is white men shit. It started with them, and we picked it up. What I'm saying is, despite the fact that the author of the Terminator and the Matrix is a black woman, we can tell because I've read the books, right? We can tell that that woman, when she wrote the Matrix and the Terminator, the women were intricate parts of the revolution. The women,
I
when
agree.
she wrote those women, they were intricate parts. They were what we consider to be modern women. As a matter of fact, fuck that, futuristic women like Sarah Connor, right? She was the one that was a protector of John Connor, right? John Connor wouldn't have made it without Sarah, right? The Terminator was kind of like an auxiliary character because Sarah was the key, always been the key. Same thing with Neo and Trinity. She was the key. Without Trinity, there would have been no Neo. He would have never woken up. He would have never pushed himself to the limits of his powers had it not been for Trinity. So the point that
I
I'm
agree.
making is, if we know these things and a black woman wrote the book, how can Red Pill exclude them from power?
That's the thing. That so I believe that the version of red pill that probably should be or should exist or should dominate should be the one where you acknowledge or you're aware that hey, in order for you to make it in this world, you would need to pair, partner with your counterpart. Not doesn't have to be romantically, but you absolutely cannot and should not bar them out of participation in whatever attempts or aspirations you have. That's a better reality. That's what red pill is supposed to be. Are you
But
aware
it's
Right,
not though.
of
right, but
your
it's not.
reality?
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, da, 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 da. No, no,
Right. Okay.
no. Wait, hush up, because I'm sick of listening to
Don't be
you. But
disrespectful because I
I
haven't
am.
disrespected
You know
you.
why?
It's not
Lilith,
Because
go ahead,
I'll
necessary.
go
be
ahead.
nice. I'll be nice.
Hold
I'll be
on,
nice.
Lilith, please
I'll
be
You
be
ain't gotta
nice.
be
nice, Lilith.
nice, but
Let's
I
I
am
get.
haven't
so
disrespected you,
sick
sir.
of the butt. Everything you said before butt is ill and now no longer necessary, right? Because when you say but, that means I did not mean one word I said before. This is what I really mean. Now, let me explain something to you, sir. This is how they trick y'all. Let me give you 5% to 10% truth, right? And this bullshit that I'm about to feed you. Now, even though you know 90% of the nonsense that I am putting out is nonsense, I have to. I have to defend the 10% because the 10% is true, which gives leeway to the 90% of nonsense. And the 90% of the nonsense is that white that red pill equated to and started because white men were in these fucking forums screaming and yelling that black men were taking all their jobs. And
taking
no,
all of their
all their
women
women and black
and their
women were
jobs.
taking all their jobs. This was
Mm-hmm.
all the red pill ideology was all about hating black folks. So how does it benefit us? In what way? You know how it benefited us? It got y'all not to vote. It got y'all to fight against your own women to lose their jobs. Because they not in the house with y'all. Because some way, somehow, y'all let white men convince you. When y'all knew black women and black families have never been nuclear. We have always been communal or generational based. To talk y'all into that neutral family bullshit. Because all you men care about is wallet and dingaling. Right? Inside Punani, now I'm a king. A sperm pet. Now I'm a real king. I can tell somebody what to do. Now I got 2 people under my kingdom that I can tell what to do. And y'all believe that was somehow freeing. That somehow made you a man. Now I'm a real man. Look, I got an inside Punani and an inside sperm pet. Now I'm a leader. And y'all believed it. Instead of believing that me fighting against white supremacy, me fighting to get the same pay as white men, me fighting against them looking at me as a animal was more important. No, what's important to y'all now? I got an inside Punani. I'm married. I go to church. When has that helped the black community? When? How? Did it make us better? Did it make anything better? Are we getting better economically? Where are we in the government? Where are y'all? Health-wise, where are y'all? But you want to talk about it benefits? When you cannot tell me one benefit at all? When it literally took away our benefits. Red pill took away blacks' benefit. We now lost our rights to vote. Voting rights out the fucking window because of y'all. Autonomous rights out the window because of y'all. But some way, somehow, y'all think this is benefiting y'all because you think it is somehow making you equal to white men. That's what this is about. Y'all want to be equal to white men. You don't care about us as a community. You just want to move up in the patriarchy. That's why y'all think it's benefiting you. Because now you got somebody underneath you. Look at me. I'm no longer under the white woman. But you are. You are. It has not benefited y'all. You think this is going to move you up to where the white women are. It will never happen. You will never replace the white woman. And I'm going to leave it there because, Navi don't want me. You lucky Navi don't want me to curse y'all out.
Please, let's keep it. Let's keep it respectful
Hey,
so that we can all do. Who was this?
yeah, can I say
Dominus.
something?
Dominus. Andretti, make it quick, and then we go to Dominus, and then we go to Ronnie.
All right, I'm gonna make it real quick. Really, the worst thing the red pill has done has create this narrative that just completely detracts and blames black men for everything. Y'all make it seem as though white women, black women, none of these people voted for any of this stuff, and only black men are to blame for everything in the world. Y'all make it seem as though being raised in America, being affected by mass media manipulation, propaganda, has nothing to do with anything that goes on in the black community, and it's all the black man's fault. The black man is the big bad wolf. That's really what red pill has done. It has taken the blame off of the oppressor, like you're saying, and it has shifted it on to the black man. And you do have those black men who want to blame black women. But overwhelmingly what we see is spaces that just talk down on black men overwhelmingly more than you'll see men talking down on black women. The majority of these red pill men were incels anyway. They were men that felt like they were an outcast from society. They were men that were already probably detracting from the black community because they felt like the black community had already turned its back on them. A lot of these guys are people who probably were considered nerds as kids and were talked about for being smart because for some reason the black community being an intellectual was a bad thing. A lot of these black men were men that probably were not in shape.
Let him finish. Let him finish, Lilith. Let him finish, please.
So a lot of these black men were already on that road anyway. But just because you see a few videos online, now you want to blame all black men for all of the faults of the black community instead of looking at what the actual issue is and what the issue has been for hundreds of years and what the issue continues to be. All this is just another way to turn black people against black people. And black women like yourself will sit there and completely not even care about the issues that have been proven for thousands of years and just say it's black men, black men, black men, black men, black men. So that whole narrative that has been created from Red Pill, I feel is even more harmful because all it does is push more black men away. And I'll land that way.
Can I say something to that?
One second.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Real quick.
And femicide and homicide are two different things. Stop confusing the two. They are not killing these women just for being women.
I was quiet. Now it's my turn. I said none of that. If that's what you heard, that's a you problem. Sir, it is not. No, black women protest and went to court to get equal pay. Black men have not. That's what I'm saying. We are y'all standing up for yourselves. Black women have always stood up for the black community. Y'all have it. You are always talking about, I'm blaming black men, No, stop listening to be victimized. I want you to wake up. When, sir, black men have not stood up for civil rights since the 70s. The Million Man March was in the late 90s and it did nothing. Nothing came out of it. There was no organizations out of it. No government programs built from it. Nobody got elected. Nothing. What are y'all doing except saying we are complaining? We're complaining because you and the rest of y'all aren't doing anything. We have the right to complain.
Yes. Can I add to what she said, Navi, real quick? Because I know I know you got an order here. Let me add to what Lilith is saying as well. Andre, let me explain something to you. Like she said, y'all are not doing anything for BLK women and children. So we have the right to complain. You guys, the men from your group, y'all have been online for literally a whole decade.
I'm not red pill.
Wait a second, Andre. Hush. Hold on. Wait 1 second. The men from your group, BLK men, have been online talking about BLK women for a long time, for a whole long decade. Now that BLK women are responding to it and we're using facts and we're talking about you, now you guys are upset about that because you just don't want us to respond. You want to sit right here and disparage us and talk about our looks and all that type of stuff. And now that we're getting on y'all and we're talking about the problems that y'all have, now you have an issue with it, and that's what I don't like. BLK women. Huh?
Would I get a chance to respond? I'm not trying to cut you off.
No. I just, no. Because can we leave it right there though, Navi? Because I think what Lilith said, I want the men to listen to what she said and then stay on that. You guys are the problem. You need to fix it. This has nothing to do with us as women. You need to fix the problem as men. You do not involve BLK women in your problem fixing. Okay, Andre, that's it.
So black men
no, Mammy. Hold on, Mammy. You don't have to get off mute, Mammy. I just had to tell Andre that.
That is really the issue. Both arguments are being made on the same side. Both sides are saying the other side ain't attractive. Both sides are saying the other side ain't educated. You want to talk about education. Just because you get a degree does not equate to wages. As we see, women tend to pursue lower paying degrees. There's nothing wrong with that. Every degree has its value in society. But you want to use this education narrative as if black men aren't still making more money without degrees. Look at those statistics. But anyway, it's not about black men not doing anything for the black community. It has nothing to do with black men not doing anything for the black community. It has everything to do with you denying what black men do for the community because you don't want to accept the fact that black men actually are making progress. Just because it's not on your social media feed does not mean that it's not happening. And just like when Lady came up here and actually used real resources and actually made statements, all you did was just shut that down.
Why are you talking about making? You're not making more money than the white
That's the problem. I thought I was listening to be a victim, but you're not even listening.
Because she's a man. Because she's a man.
Everybody, hold on. Everybody go on mute, please. One mic. Hear me out. It appears that we've come to a impasse, right? Education is absolutely crucial. Once upon a time, our people were killed for learning how to read and write. Don't disparage education up here. Education doesn't always encompasses a degree. I think that every adult needs to have beyond childhood education. If you do not have beyond childhood education, you are destined to fail in life. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to go to college to get a degree. You can go to a trade school and get a trade. But again, black men don't lead in trades. We don't lead in trades. We don't go to the trade schools. We don't go over there and try to learn to be electricians or nothing like that. That's not what we want to do. Even a lot of us, we go into the trucking industry and we put our ass on our shoulders thinking that we're making a lot of money. And I had a black man up here, a young black man who was a truck driver, and he was boasting that he was making $90,000 a year, but he drives about 60 to 70 hours a week. And when I broke down financially what he was actually making, he was heartbroken because it never dawned on him that he was being exploited. Because they told him, yeah, you can make $85,000 to $90,000 a year, but when you actually add up how many hours he's in that truck and you divide it to what they're paying him, he was making less than $19 an hour. So black men are not making more money than white men. As a matter of fact, white men's gap, our earning potential compared to black men has widened. It's widened.
Yeah,
it is widened.
He didn't say that.
Right?
He said they make more money than the women, black women. He said black
wait a second.
But Lynn, hold on. No, hold on. Black men should not be comparing their salaries to their women.
I agree.
That's what
weird.
y'all have been doing this whole time.
Andretti.
You're lying.
Andretti, hold on. Lilith, I got it.
If it's not about you,
hold on. Andretti, it's you and me. Don't address her because then if she pop off, I'm gonna go on mute. It's you and me talking right now. Hear me out. Every woman in every social ethnic group compares their salary to their men. Why? Because women are paid significantly less than their men, and women will gauge how they're progressing by how they are paid for the same jobs compared to their men. And we are the only men out of all of the demographics in this country that compares ourselves and our accomplishments like salary, education, and position to their women, when our advancements are supposed to positively affect our women. So the better we do, the better our women do. So if we're not doing any better, then our women aren't doing any better. We are the only group of men who the women are by, like 60 something dollars from overtaking the earning potential of their men every week. We are the only group of men who their women earning potential is the closest in bridging the gap. And let's consider this. Black women are dealing with a triple conundrum when it comes to oppression. They're black, they're women, and they only marry at over 80% clip other black people, whether it's men or women. They have a triple threat upon their advancement. Black men, we got 2, maybe even 1. The ones of us that has two is probably members of the rainbow community. But black men, we just got one thing, and that's the fact that we're black. But the fact that we are men, we can grasp a little piece of the patriarchy. Women, they're black, and they are the most race loyal. Other women, they date out. If the men ain't doing what they supposed to do, they date out. Asian women, Hispanic women, white women at a higher clip than black women date out. So they have a triple thing that's going on with them, and they're bridging that gap. But black men, we should not be comparing our accomplishments to our women as if we're in competition. We are supposed to be pushing the envelope within our own communities so our women can be like, look at us. Black men are earning this amount of money every week, and we're earning just about of money every week because of the advancements and the progress that our men have done by actually taking the fight to other men. We don't take the fight to other men. We grab a hold of their doctrine. That's why we're red pill now, when red pill was for white men.
Yeah.
White men are not becoming Black Panthers. not in droves, not in mass, right? There isn't a Black Panther Party problem within the white community when it comes to white men, right? There isn't an NAACP problem within the white community, right? There isn't a Hebrew Israelite problem within the white community, but in the Black community, there's a red pill problem. There's an evangelical problem. There's a conservative problem. There's a femicide problem. There's a misogyny problem. It's so bad in us that it's called misogynoir. It's called misogynoir. It's not even called misogyny, right? So how is it that we can adopt everybody's doctrine, but nobody adopts ours?
And
Why?
I never. Oh, my bad.
The reason why is because we aren't the standards. Even though we create all of the expressions that the world profits from, right? You know what Black men do to the expressions that we create, whether it's music, dance, art? We give it to them. We give it to them. I would think that red pill would be more along the lines of not how much black pussy we can get or how we can get these women to submit, that rhyme don't hate to play, hate the game bars, but how we can stop giving our intellectual properties to the oppressor so that he can turn it around and weaponize it. How many times are we going to do this to ourselves? Like the whole idea of the podcast, bro, right? They did it. They started it, right? But Kevin Samuels, I'm going to give him this, made it sexy. White men are unable to do a Fresh and Fit or an Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels type of podcast. They don't do kind of like a Deontay type of podcast. They don't know how to do that. Black men made it sexy. And instead of us taking that and keeping it for ourselves and advance what is important within the black community, we decided to go conservative. We decided to become misogynistic pigs. We decided to try to oppress our women and put our women in a place to where they have to fight or flight. Never before in our history, even when we were selling crack to our women, that black women have a fight or flight response to our presence. We were unalivers, mass unalivers, and we were selling poison by the tons to pregnant women and children. We were recruiting their sons and daughters in our illegal cartel organizations, and black women still did not have a fight or flight response to our presence. But as soon as we adopted this bullshit, here's where we are. So I want for y'all to consider that. I'm going to move on, but I want for y'all to consider that. Why is that a thing now? I'm going to go to Dominus, and I'm going to go to Dex, and then I'm going to go to Tori.
I can't respond.
No, hold on, Andretti, because I did monologue, and I'm sorry. I'm going to go to Dominus, Ronnie, Dex, and then Tori. I'm just telling y'all, I need y'all to consider what I'm saying to you. Brothers, I'm not your enemy. I'm trying to point out that we have been finessed. Let this shit go. 30 rounds, you can come up and you can prove to me I'm lying. Go ahead, Dominic.
Yeah, when we talk about how has red pill advanced black men, we need to look at what red pill actually is. To my knowledge and my participation in red pill communities and all of that. In the early days of it, I was on Reddit real heavy. You know what I'm saying? Real heavy. And Red Pill was basically a belief system that women are not as non-shallow as they might be portrayed to be. When women say, you know, we want a good man, that's not actually what they actually mean. That's not the most important thing. Red Pill ideology perpetuates that women are attracted to looks, money, and status in men. And if you can have looks, money, and status, then you can have women. So you're sitting there trying to do more chores in order to get this woman to like you more. She about to go F the D-boy. Why? He has looks, money, or status.
God, bro.
That's what Red Pill, that's what Red Pill ideology, that's what Red Pill ideology perpetuates at its simplest form, like at its base. It's a strategy to get women. That's what it is.
Thank you,
so
brother.
men,
Thank you, brother, for proving my point. Thank you. I appreciate you telling the truth.
yeah,
No. Let him finish.
I'm not at all done. I'm not at all
Let him
done.
rock out. Let him rock out. Please, y'all gotta
So
let
yeah,
him finish.
so how do I think that benefits black men? I think some black men get kind of left behind. Like they're living in their neighborhood. They're watching all the women that they're attracted to go and have kids with terrible men because they have looks, money, or status, and they don't possess those things. Even though they're
Let 'em
quote unquote
use you.
good men who are educated and are trying in their communities, they're trying to be helpful. They're trying to espouse all the values that women told them that they value. Meanwhile, these women are still effing men that have looks, money, and status. So if these men
Let him use
then
you. Let
adopt
him lose you. Let him
red
use
pill
you, brother. Let him use
ideology,
you.
these men adopt red pill ideology. Now they can get these women. They're not becoming worse people overall. They're like, okay, I need to get in the gym. I need to get some money. I
Let
need
him
to get some
finish,
charisma
please.
by myself. I need to have game in order to get women. Just being nice to women is not going to get me women. Right? And this man learns that. I think that
Let
is
him
helpful to that
finish,
man.
please.
I think that is helpful to that man because now that is a good man that can also create children in his community. The children aren't all going to these bad men with looks, money, and status. So I think that is a good thing. When this good man who is not going to score with any women because he does not have looks, money, and status, now he can score because he knows that he needs to obtain looks, money, and status in order to obtain women. So I think that is valuable. And I also wanted to address one comment, and then I'm gonna be cool. A lot of times I see black women calling black men the weakest men or the worst men. But in reality, if we look at it, black men are the most progressive men in America by far. By far.
Thank you.
Like very
Hey,
far.
y'all. Hey.
Like if you
y'all
take
got to
every,
let them finish. Let them finish, please.
and
There's a
I know it
method.
upsets y'all.
It's a
to hear
method
good
to
things
my
about black
madness.
men,
There's a
but it
method
shouldn't
to my
upset you.
madness. Just let him finish, please. Have you
Yeah.
landed
So
your
if you
plane,
take
Dominic?
all groups, if you take all groups of men that vote and compare their voting to the black men vote, we are the most progressive men by far. But we get called the weakest men. We get called the worst men. Their women don't talk to them this way. Why? Because they got their foot on their neck. We don't do that to y'all. We don't do that
Y'all
to
got
y'all.
to.
We don't make laws. We don't
Don't cut him
restrict y'all
off.
as much as these other
Let him
communities.
say that. Let him say the shit. Y'all got to let them say this
Like
shit.
you need to look at things objectively instead of taking your own experiences and extrapolating them to the rest of us.
Let them use
Those
you, brother.
men,
Let them use you.
those men police their women much, much heavier than in the black community. Our women are much more free to do things that other communities of women are like, oh, my family would never allow me to do that. I could never do that. They would disown me if I did that. Our women are free to do those things. We vote very progressively.
Yeah.
Look at all of the voting
You agree with
statistics.
him?
And I'm done.
Hey. No. Okay, he said so. No. Before anybody come off of mute, I have one question for one panelist. Lady,
Huh?
do you agree with him? No, let her. I asked a question, Vanity. Come off of mute, lady. Do you agree with what he said?
I agree with some of the things that he said. Do you?
No. Nothing that he said makes an ounce of sense. But I want y'all to hear me out. The ladies on the panel, I know you may think that I'm trying to expose you to trauma. I'm not. Y'all know how I roll. Y'all know how I am. I'm not trying to do this for shock value. I want for you to hear them say it so that you understand just how illogical this shit is. If you cut them off and you don't get them to finish saying what they want to say, he can come back and say, I didn't mean it that way. We need to understand that's the only way that you can dismantle the idiocracy. Again, everything that he said is not culturally accurate for Black people. That is a point that I'm making. This is not who we've ever been as a people. You talking about they going with the drug dealers and stuff like that. Do you know majority of Black men didn't even get involved in the drug trades? Majority of Black men was not involved in it. Enough of us was to create a huge problem for us, but most Black men did not get involved. We didn't sell, we didn't peddle, we didn't join the GANGs, we didn't do any of that. So again, the likelihood of you losing your woman to a thug or a drug dealer is about 3%. Because
You
that
have
was
to
the
show
percentage
that
of Black
source.
men. No. I will show you the
Yeah,
source.
I can't
Because
trust. You can't
hold
trust.
on. No. Are you telling me because there's about 20 million Black men in America? How many Black men are locked up in prison today?
I'm not talking about that. You said that we didn't participate in selling smug,
No, that's not. No,
but
that's not what I'm. No, lady. I'm
you
talking
said
about.
majority didn't.
No, lady.
Oh my
When I was
God!
talking about participation, what are you talking about? The majority of Black
You
men
said
did not
majority
participate.
didn't participate in
They
selling
didn't.
smug.
They did
Right,
not.
but the ones that did participate were never single. They always had women
Right. That's the
as
whole
Hold on,
being
point.
one of them.
hold on. Are you telling me? I just want y'all to
What?
make the. I want y'all to know. I want y'all to make this make sense to
Please
me,
let me
right?
get her.
So, no.
You can't get me,
During
you
the candy,
wild
hold on.
animal.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
Mama,
that.
you dumb
Don't
bitch.
do that. Don't do that. Hey,
Dylan,
y'all
stop. Stop,
relax.
Dylan.
Y'all relax. Lady, do not call anybody's name. Don't do that.
I
Don't
didn't say
call
nobody's
nobody name.
name.
You don't call her out of her name. Listen, during the time of the rack epidemic, there was probably about 17 to 18 million Black men, adults. This is not including the children. Now, if I include the children, it's about probably 20, maybe 21, 22 children that was of age that would have participated. Let's say like 23. Let's do 24 million male participants. During the height of the candy epidemic, there were 800,000 Black men in in gangs across the United States. Those are the stats from the FBI and all of the other law enforcement agencies that
That's not
report
my
these. Now,
point.
lady,
You
that
said
is my point. That is my point. My point is being that the street
yes, but
gangs
those
were
men
the
were never
peddlers.
single.
Again, you're talking about 900,000 men that had women, but there were about 18 million Black women, eligible women. So
Average.
because somebody took, no, even if all of them had 3 women apiece, it's
It
still
forms
not
a
majority of
perspective.
the women. No,
He's
it
You're
talking
right.
about
doesn't.
The,
the
Listen,
aesthetic.
it
hey, bro,
creates a
listen.
perspective.
Hey,
Yes,
listen.
it
If
does.
this,
And then
no,
it
hold on.
create no,
Hold on,
you
no, no,
listen,
no.
please. You
No.
talking a
Y'all are
lot.
trying to. Wait a minute. Am I a guest? I'm confused. Am I a
You
guest?
not listening, brother.
What? I'm
You just
confused. Hold
talking.
on. Am I a guest on the panel?
Sir, do you know what the influence that it causes when
Nigga,
one
you
of,
need to stop
hold on,
talking.
can
Stop
I please
talking
talk
out
to
of
you,
you.
Navi? Listen, Navi, when the influence that it causes when one homegirl out the bunch starts, a homegirl of 10,
Ronnie, You've been waiting, brother. Thank you for being patient.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
leave.
Ron.
It's pointless because y'all don't know how to deal. Y'all just
It's
talking.
okay.
And you
It's okay.
sipping. That's all you
All
do
right.
is sip.
Yeah.
I don't even know you, and I figured that out about you.
That's good.
Shut up,
Yeah.
bitch. You ugly.
Yeah.
You got a
No,
hair.
get off me, boy. Get off me.
Yeah.
We don't need
Yeah.
That's what
Get
you
the
are.
fucking stepping hoe.
Bye.
Fuck out of here.
You know, I knew that somebody was gonna call me a simp when I just been addressing men, right? Now I didn't address y'all keep talking about the women that were dating smug dealers, right? You mean to tell me that you niggas became this because you couldn't get the popular girl? You wanted to fuck you wanted to get the girl that made bad decisions. You niggas are mad. No. I want y'all to make this make sense to me, bro. Ronnie is laughing, but please, can we make this make sense? These are the women that you say make bad decisions. Y'all wanted to fuck them too?
Yes.
Put a pin in it. Let Ronnie go, and
Hey,
we'll
bro.
respond to it.
Ronnie, go, Ronnie.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I wanted some coaching.
Hey, bro.
Let Ronnie go, but I'll really break that down for you.
Hey, hold on.
I wanted some coochie.
If that's what y'all going with, if that's what y'all going with it, I don't want to hear choose better from you niggas.
I'm not a
man. If I hear one of you niggas tell a woman to choose better again, I'm gonna crash the fuck out. Because it's confusing to me that these were teenagers, right? These were young women, children that were choosing the smug dealers. And y'all mad because you didn't get access to the girls that were making bad decisions. I thought y'all wanted the traditional women, the modern women, the women that didn't. What the fuck is y'all talking about?
Heteronormative men want all the women.
Ronnie, Ronnie, that's not the women. Hey, that's not the women's problem that y'all want all of the women, even the ones that make bad decisions.
It becomes their problem, unfortunately, if they remain in the heteronormative mindset. Unfortunately, this is unfortunate, but this is how it plays out. But go ahead,
Brother Ronnie from New Edition, you got it.
Hey, how y'all doing, man?
All right.
Yeah, I think that's a good topic. But no, I was listening, man. I was driving at first, but the topic is how has a red pill advanced black men. I was listening to one guy. He was explaining. I know people didn't really like what he was saying because the whole idea of the whole red pill thing came from that movie, The Matrix. And basically, you could replace red pill with just woke. Basically, mean that you're just paying attention and not going along to get along. And so I think there are different. This manosphere world has become like a subset of red pill, and I think when people hear the term red pill, they associate it with the guys that are starting these platforms. And I think one of the other brothers that was just speaking recently was just saying a lot of those guys that's doing the red pill podcast are the dudes that never did get any coochie when they was young. They've gotten a little bit older, and they because a lot of them speak from a place of disdain from women.
That's my point.
You're right. So yeah, a lot of those are, but it's not. I don't think it's an accurate representation of what red pill necessarily is. That's what that other guy was saying. Like red pill isn't just they're a subset of it, and I think it's so bad that people assume that red pill means the dude that scorned black man that got a microphone. And
Brother
speaking
Ronnie.
out against women. Yeah.
Brother Ronnie.
Yeah.
Out of all of the podcasts that Red Pill Men listen to, how many of them are catering to the softer side of Sears?
The red pill. I think the majority of those. You listen. I'm gonna tell you something too. People get paid for content too, so they're gonna pander. They're catering to the guys that don't get.
No. You use the right word. Don't switch it up. You use the right. They pander.
They're definitely pandering to those people that are gonna send them tokens and they're gonna subscribe and get. Their
So would you say about 80% of the red tail content is actually the dudes who didn't get the coochie from the girls that dated the drug dealers?
I said
99%.
probably 90. I was finna say about 90.
Andre 90,
Yeah, about
yeah.
90.
So
I was about
then,
to say 90. Yeah.
so then, how can you guys expect for the general public who don't fuck with it to think anything else?
Sure.
Just think
I
about
mean,
no. It's not a choice. I'm gonna make a comparison, brothers. Most black men are law-abiding citizens. Most of us
Right.
would never see the inside of a jail.
Right.
But what is our reputation?
That we're
That's
all deadbeat
propaganda. That's
daddies.
what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's
Okay.
bigger than the
Hold
black
on.
community.
We need to
So
fight
you can,
against
but
propaganda from black women.
no,
We need
Diamond,
to fight
no.
against
It
this,
ain't got
man.
nothing. Hey, Diamond.
Nah, don't
This
do
has
that.
nothing
Don't,
to. Hey,
don't
bro,
do
no.
that.
Hear me out. Why again? Please hear me. The stereotypes of black men being criminals and baby daddies and stuff, right? That is controlled by our oppressors, right? We don't
Right.
control that. But our reputation with the red pill shit, that's on us.
Definitely.
In the
We
same
can't put that on a white man because again, manosphere was a psyop against white men to get them to submit to the oligarchy. That's why it was created. That's why it even came up because they talk about how Dominus, you said this. You said other men from other ethnic groups don't deal with this, right? So then why are white men red pill?
I guess for other reasons.
But look,
No, they
Ronnie,
say
Other ethnic groups don't deal with.
no. They say the same shit you niggas be saying. They don't have a different doctrine. Ronnie, let's be honest. When you hear red pill from white men, is it any different?
No, Andrew Tate says the same thing that
Hey, bro,
Nah,
these other
he's
guys.
an extremist. That's
brothers,
completely
no,
different.
no, Andrew
not-
Tate.
he really-
Hey,
he really not.
no. Listen, Andrew Tate is lightweight compared to them other motherfuckers. I
Right.
promise you, Andrew Tate is lightweight. I've been
But it-
following the red pill since it was men going their own way, leading up
correct,
to
MGTOW.
today.
Correct.
Exactly. Listen,
So-
MGTOW was anti-black man. That was the whole thing. They was upset about black
Tommy
dick
Toto.
and white coochie. I'm
Yeah,
promising,
Tommy
like
Toto.
y'all have no idea the type of violence and death they were wishing on niggas at that time. It was in fucking insane.
And that was
That's
for
why
red
we had
pill?
to.
Ronnie brought up
Yes.
a good point though. You
Okay.
look at a term like woke. We came up with woke. That was ours. Then it was propagandized to mean what? You hear a correspondent
Now
on
being
Fox
woke
News
is
saying
being
woke
rainbow.
now.
It's being
You
rainbow.
hear it's a lot of things. Now the word has shifted into leftist or even further into Democrat. The issue that I have is that we allow things to shift in their meaning as opposed to what the people actually meant when it was
listening, Omar.
created.
It's not
You're-
woke
you're
means
saying
what it
that,
means.
but
we were not
ahead and finish, and then
allowed
I'll
white
circle back.
folks take
No, hold
over.
on, Lilith. I cut Ronnie off. I'm gonna let Ronnie finish, and then we gotta move around to other people on the school.
After he finished,
I gotta go to Dex. I gotta go to Dex, and I gotta go to Tori. Go ahead. I was just trying to point some stuff out, but go ahead, Ronnie. I'm sorry, brother.
I want to say this about like y'all are right. Black people are the ones that created the woke term, but woke, just like anything else, gets stolen from us because we're not in control of the powers that be. We don't have control of the media, so they can do when you're in power, you get as much as people hate Donald Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter, right? But one thing that I respect about Donald Trump is when he got into that seat and he was able to do what he needed to do to advance his agenda, he did it. He ain't care nothing about no laws, no nothing. So when we get in positions of power, we need to do that. When we get a Tyler Perry that creates a production studio, we should be putting the movies out to promote our agenda. When we get on our platforms,
Good propaganda.
I'm saying, propaganda is not necessarily a bad thing. But what I'm saying is, like, we should be putting out movies that
Propaganda is a
promote.
bad thing, brothers.
No, it's not. It's not a bad word. We should be putting out the propaganda for making sure that the narrative of woke is what it is. When we get on these social media platforms, we have an opportunity to put whatever the hell we want to put on here. So we don't have to get on here and black men fighting with black women. But we're making a conscious choice And like I said, a lot of times we're doing it because it's become monetized. People are trying to make money, and so we continue to keep going back with the Meg Clay. I just came on the TikTok live a few days ago, and that's all that's been on here. Every one of the things I done scroll through is just black man, black woman, and the truth of the matter is we're all broken. And until we sit down and say, hey, black woman, I'm broken, and the black woman say, hey, I'm broken too, let's sit down and fix this shit. Because if we keep calling each other weak or we keep calling each other hoes and ran through, right now, the black woman's biggest op is the black man. And the black man's biggest op is the black woman. How do we fix that?
It's because it's
Can you
easier to
show
blame
me?
the person you see.
No,
Nobody
hold on.
research
The black,
and do the research to
I
study
gotta hold
the
on. I
actual
gotta
oppression
clear.
and the systems that hold us
I gotta
back.
clear
White men
something up.
control
I
this
gotta.
goddamn
Women like
country, and
women.
black women is your
They just
biggest.
want to blame who
Hold
they see.
on. Hold on. I gotta clear some up, and then I gotta move on to things. Propaganda is a systemic, biased dissemination of information, often misleading or deceptive, designed to influence opinions, attitudes, and behaviors on a large scale. Propaganda is not a good thing.
I use
It's
the
never
wrong
a good
word
thing.
then. Okay,
Yeah, it's okay.
by
It's okay.
definition, I use the wrong word. Okay. But
Yeah.
that's what I meant. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead, Dex. The floor is yours.
Oh my gosh. Where do I fucking begin? Um, Here's the thing. Navi is correct when they talk about YT men in power actually use this movement to target black men and men in general, right? Because you got to understand the origins of it and why it was created. Literally, it started on 4chan and 8chan, right? And who was the backers of it and who was the believers of it? It's literally Steve Bannon, who was funded by Jeffrey Epstein. Like, literally, that's
Yeah.
what it was, right? And they literally decided to target men who are frustrated of not being with women and have a disdain and hatred for women and use it because Red Pill is a political movement.
It sure is.
It's a political movement, and they literally stated that they could get votes, like they could get 60% votes from white men and 40% votes from black men and Hispanic men. That was their target, literally. And it is literally a white supremacist movement that black men literally willingly accepted because of the disdain of women, and specifically in our community, black women, because because black women don't want to submit to men, which in essence is oppression of women. It has no other meaning good about submission, right? That's literally what it is. And this notion of we have to be more careful with words and this and that, and we're not coddling men's feelings because women are talking about their lives, right? Women and black women is not black men's greatest up because women haven't built systems to actually target women, to target black men, to unalive black men. Like literally, it's such a big problem worldwide that governments are literally making laws to target this incel and red pill community. This is fucking dangerous. It had no time to coddle black men's feelings. And the other thing that's frustrating is you guys think that you could just see an oppressive system, see how it works, the outcomes of it, and still think that you could then take pieces of it and then turn it to your own thing and make it into something good. That is the most idiotic thing that you could do because you're still supporting an oppressive system to your own community. They spend millions of dollars in propaganda. Cambridge Analytica, Steve Bannon is the one who commissioned that. You know why that's important? They literally had information of 50 million people in America when it comes to Facebook, and use money to target black men and other men of like the Hispanic community and white men to literally bring them over to get their votes, and then team up with the Heritage Foundation to then dismantle all the laws and the protections that we've had and fought for in the black community. That was black men who literally sided with that. And it has no sugarcoating this shit. This is what's happening right now. We literally lost the ability to like HIPAA laws, we lost. Black women right now with this administration lost like 500,000 jobs. They targeted black women when it comes to degrees, that they're no longer getting funding for them when they're going to borrow against to get their education. Like all these things literally spawn from red pill. And this is the lack of critical thinking that I'm listening to, that you guys not seeing cause and effect. And you guys want to come up with your own interpretation of a system that spelled it out for every fucking person. And they backed it up with fucking laws. They backed it up with power. And you guys want to just create your own little thing in your own little fucking bubble and think that makes fucking sense. This is why our community is where it is right now. And you guys want to talk about black women. When the problem is talk about black men, and this is the problem with black men. You don't want to be held accountable for supporting heinous and harmful ideologies that is actually destroying our community. You guys want women to still side with that. No, they're not. They have a right to be angry with our behavior, with our beliefs, with our lack of action when it comes to educating ourselves about this system that is affecting us. The lack of motivation to actually do something about it. If you don't know how your oppressors move, you can't fight them. That's why it's easy for you to join them. That's why it's easy and I'm just pointing this out, Ronnie, but not really attacking. This is why you misuse the word propaganda in that way. Because we're not educating ourselves to even learn basic words. You know, I mean, it's not a dig on you, but just saying that's, in essence, that's how these things work. You understand what I'm saying? Black women are actually doing the work to make our communities better. And we are literally mad about that. And that's where the incel community comes into play. Because the incel community think that women supposed to just accept mediocre men who believe in hating women, and they're supposed to just accept it. If you look at the history of patriarchy, it's way older than racism. And we have to understand that. Racism only started in the mid-1400s. Patriarchy started in the beginning of the agricultural age. That's like 3000 BC. Like, do the math. We have to understand this. We're looking at